Okay, so this exercise is technically called a reverse Nordic. If you guys have ever done Nordic hand curls, this is essentially the exact opposite. It's also just a kneeling sissy squat. It's essentially the same thing, but from your knees. Now, what I recommend doing is attaching a band, anchoring it to something very high, a pull-up bar, something like this. I have it in the cable machine, but only because that gives me a better angle for the camera here. Now, what you want to do is get into this position here. You want your laces down like this, not toes down like this. Laces down, and you can do one of two things the same way we were using the band before. You can either get into the band like this, or you can just hold the band with two hands and hold it on your chest. Both of them are going to work fine, and I'll demonstrate both right now. I like having my hands free. Well, actually, to be honest with you, I think they both work great. So from here, you're executing it the same way. You have a slight glute squeeze, which again takes me out of this hip flexion and brings me into hip extension. And then we're just going to sit back nice and slow, nice and slow, nice and slow, butt to heels, and then pull yourself back up. Now, this isn't a very easy exercise. Even with the band, it's still pretty darn challenging. And for a lot of you guys, it's going to challenge that ankle mobility as well, which, okay, is just a feature of the movement, not the end of the world. Now, if you wanted to do this the other way, with two hands on the band, holding this on your chest, you can modify the tension. You can pull a little bit more here, and what will happen is it'll look incredibly similar. You go back, 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 butt to heels, and pull yourself back up. And as you're doing that, you're experiencing that same amount of knee flexion while in hip extension. Now, if you don't stay in hip extension, if you let your butt go back, this is a very easy exercise. Actually, not even an exercise. This is nothing. And so you need to remain in hip extension, keeping your glutes lightly squeezed so that when you go back, all of that lengthening happens around the knee joint, which lengthens the quad. And people hear knee joint and they get all scared. What I just mean is that we are lengthening the quad, not the glutes.